Building a wedding guest list is often the first hurdle when it comes to wedding planning, and let's be real here, guest list math is kind of crazy. If you're staring at a blank spreadsheet, don't worry, you're not alone. To get your guest list done without too much stress, here are 3 things that you should focus on: your venue capacity, your budget, and the 75 to 85% rule. What is this rule, you might ask? For most weddings, about 75 to 85% of the people that you invite on your guest list actually attend your wedding. By starting with a rough draft of your must-haves and refining as you go, you can build a list that reflects your budget and also protects your peace of mind. Here's how to do it. So when do you actually start your guest list? Stop waiting for the perfect moment, and as soon as you've picked out your venue and date, get on it. And guess what? I've got a master timeline for you. 12 months out, build your raw, no limits list. Include everyone you can think of and have no filter. 9 months out is the almost final phase. Add addresses, identify travel needs, and send your save the dates. 6 months out, this is your time to send your official invitations. This is especially helpful for guests that are going to need to travel for your wedding. 3 months out is the final deadline. No more adding, no more cutting, unless a guest cancels, of course. And 1 month out, your final guest count. This count will go to your caterer and your planner. Now on to one of the toughest questions out there. Who actually gets a say in your guest list? This part is a part of planning that causes the most friction, but the one golden rule is, it is you and your partner's wedding day, so you're the one that gets the final say. Period. Now, of course, there is some wiggle room and you can have a little bit of leeway here depending on a few factors. For one, financial contributors. If your family members are helping with the big day, you can offer them a set number of seats for guests that they want to invite and give them a set firm quota for what seats they're allowed to fill. Now, if you're self-financing your entire wedding, guess what? You have total control. That said, if it still is a big deal to you, it still is nice to offer your parents a few spots if you do have space. Now onto the extended family filter. If your side of the family is huge, but your partner's side of the family is rather small, don't feel obligated to invite second and third cousins just to fill the space. You can also host a smaller, more intimate celebration for those people later on. Now, how do you handle RSVP math? If your initial list looks too long, don't panic. People have lives, travel commitments, and budgets. This is where the 75 to 85% rule comes into play. For a standard wedding, assume 75 to 85% of your guest list will actually attend. Also along the lines of this, proximity matters. For local guests, expect 85% attendance. For out-of-town guests, expect 55% attendance. And for destination weddings, expect 35% attendance. Now, of course, there is always the surprise factor, so be sure to allot maybe 2 or 3 chairs for the random oops guest or the person that forgot to RSVP. Now on to another toughie when it comes to planning your guest list: plus ones and kids. While this is a big anxiety-inducing part of making your guest list, it doesn't have to be. You could have a no kids policy. So if you're wanting an adult-only vibe, avoid ambiguous phrasing and simply address the invitations to the adults only. And of course, mention it on your wedding website. And here is an important reminder, you don't need to apologize for this. It is your day. Now on to plus one logic. Here are a few tips to help you navigate this. For the wedding party, they always get a plus one. Now, if one of your guests is in a serious relationship, i.e. they are married or living together, they are a package deal. Or the gray area, if you cannot afford to give every single one of your guests a plus one, then don't. Keep it same across the board. And if someone asks, just say budget constraints. Most people get it. So how do you actually start? Don't overcomplicate it. Move through these groups in this order. 1, your parents, siblings, grandparents, etc. 2, your wedding party. You've already picked them, so that's a no-brainer. 3, extended family, your aunts, uncles, cousins, 4, your close friends, the ones that have to be there because it's your big day. 5, your coworkers, but only if you have space and you're close to them. And 6, the final cut. Check against your venue capacity and then trim the fluff. Most importantly, do not do this with a napkin and pen. Use a tool that does the heavy lifting for you. Download Zola's Guest List Manager to help keep everything in one place. You'll be able to track addresses, manage RSVPs, and visualize your signature all in one place. Link is in the description. But in all seriousness, I hope this gives you a great starting point into making your guest list, finalizing your guest list, and cutting where needed. Happy wedding planning, everyone!